Tonight on Eagle Angle, we take a look at Raymond Santana of the Central Park 5 speaking at this year's History Speaks.
Watch an exclusive interview with the Valentine Carbet director.
And find out how Dennis Yu, the CEO of Blitz Metrics, is teaching students to use Facebook marketing.
Plus, Nick Rogers has all things entertainment.
And Trinity Carpenter checks in with sports. Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle. I'm Reagan Meyer.
I'm Elijah Johnson. Eagle Angle is a student-produced newscast live from the campus of Oklahoma Christian University.
OC's annual History Speaks was created 7 years ago to open campus to complex dialogues about Black history every February, which is known as Black History Month. This year, the guest speaker was Raymond Santana of the Central Park 5, now known as the Exonerated 5. Becca Koshorik reports.
Oklahoma Christian's annual History Speaks hosted Raymond Santana of the Central Park 5, now known as the Exonerated 5. The Central Park 5 was a group of Black and Latino teens wrongfully convicted of the brutal attack and rape of a white woman in Central Park in 1989. After the teens had spent 5 years in prison, a man named Matthias Reyes admitted that he committed the act alone. In 2002, the Central Park 5 were released and cleared of all charges. Santana remains a symbol of strength and resilience.
Phenomenal guy, extremely transparent, extremely strong guy. I think it went well. I think he was able to share his story while also sharing his strength and giving us some tools to really move forward from here.
Gary Jones created History Speaks 7 years ago to invite pillars of Black history to campus to share their stories.
It's just to really bring history here, allow us to touch history, to know it beyond the pages, to know it beyond the stories that we've read in books, but really to just personify the stories that we read about.
OC hopes to open complex dialogues about difficult issues through History Speaks.
Well, one, I kind of hope that everybody is amazed and upset that these kinds of things happen, because if they are amazed and upset, then that might create the desire for us not to let these kinds of things happen anymore.
In the future, the university hopes this motivates the community to listen to and act upon injustice.
So stories like this are important for me to remember that there are people that are not being treated well or appropriately, and I can't just exist without worrying about those things. I need to be involved in some way.
Reporting for Eagle Angle, I'm Becca Koshorik.
The annual Valentine Cabaret Show is right around the corner. One of our new reporters, Samantha Nelson, is making her Eagle Angle debut with an exclusive interview with Terry Atterbury, the director of the cabaret.
Hi, I'm Samantha Nelson, and I'm here with Mr. Terry Atterbury, the director of this year's cabaret. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Atterbury.
Well, thank you for doing this for us. We appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you and all your cabaret performers. So how are you feeling about this year's show?
I'm feeling really good, really good. It's a young cast. There are a lot of kids that have not done this before.
That's
so
exciting.
It's exciting to watch them grow into their roles.
That's fantastic. There are multiple new technical elements to this year's show. What can the audience look forward to?
Well, there's lots of lights, lots of beautiful lights, lots of beautiful color. We're going to have our backdrop is going to be stunning. It's going to be, since the theme is Cabaret Broadway Bound, we're going to have a train in the back, and it's going to have steam and what have you coming out of it. So
That's incredible.
It's going to be fun.
That sounds really exciting. I cannot wait to see it. How is cabaret different from other choir or just other performances in general?
Well, cabaret is different than the musical because the musical is a singular storyline that goes along from beginning to end, where cabaret is a hodgepodge of songs from different shows, from different eras, and lots of singing, lots of dancing.
Yay!
And so it's different in that respect.
What has been the most rewarding moment of this year's cabaret so far?
Oh gosh. Well, I guess probably one of the most exciting things, and I don't want to give it totally away.
Of course
but,
not.
We're doing a number from Will Rogers Follies, and it's a unique number. Let me just put it that way. And it's very, very, very difficult.
Beyond the new elements, are there any special new points in this year's show as compared to previous shows?
Well, actually, there kind of is. When I started directing Cabaret 5 years ago, well, we did a lot of solos in that, and a few company numbers or group numbers, and we've kind of evolved as the years have gone on. Well, this year we have 14 company numbers that they've had to learn all the choreography for, and so they're on stage. The performers are on stage about 90% of the time.
Wow, they're going to be really, really busy this
They're
year.
going to be very busy.
So are there any more things you would like the public to know about Cabaret?
Well, just please come. Please come and support the kids. They've worked really, really hard, and it'll be entertaining. It's good they can bring kids to it. There's nothing that's not presentable for young kids.
Yeah.
And older people, and it's Valentine's Day. What a great gift you can
I agree.
have for your special one that you can, or your family, and bring them for that. And as you know, we're doing the 11th, 13th, 14th, and 15th of February. And so come out one night and see us.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for giving us this time.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Samantha Nelson, and this is Eagle Angle.
This week, OC hosted Dennis Yu at the Facebook Ads Optimization Pro event on February 3rd. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Blitz Metrics, a business and marketing strategy site. He specializes in digital marketing, Facebook advertising, and revenue optimization. He has spoken on these topics at lectures in 17 countries. The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, National Public Radio, and several media outlets have featured his work. His lectures covered how Facebook ads can help students continue their future careers and how to help Facebook ads optimization for professional digital marketers. His goal is to help students become successful so that they can handle social campaigns for big businesses. For more information on Dennis Yu and his career, check out his website at dennisyu.com.
Last Saturday, OC hosted the first annual Global Game Jam. We got a chance to speak with Ellie Kirkner, an instructor of gaming and animation, about the event.
Global Game Jam is a 48-hour all-you-can-game-a-thon. It's a creative boot camp where the students are called on seeing how much they can create in a game development setting in a really limited game development pipeline. There's such a sense of freedom in the way that they've been able to build these experiences that don't have to be polished or perfect, but they're good. They're really, really good. And I'm completely blown away from this group, by this group, and none of the games are the same. They're all of these unique, odd little experiences. We played around with how to repair memory and how to repair robots and how to repair the human body, how to repair the human psyche, how to repair time-traveling spaceships so you can get back to the appropriate timeline in your multiverse. It's all over the place, and it was so much fun. There were board games and video game experiences, and the key thing about games and about play is any good video game can also be a good board game, and good board game experiences can lead to the creation of video games down the line. So there is a connection between the two that we don't need to kind of pull away from. And with a group of student leadership who want to help support these events, I think this is the first of many game jams OC is going to have.
Oklahoma Christian has the incredible opportunity to host a TV show right here in our Eagle Angle studio. The Verdict is a talk show hosted by former mayor of Oklahoma City, Mick Cornett, and Kent Myers. The Verdict can be seen on Cox Communications Channel 3 in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, Sundays at 9 a.m., Mondays at 9:30 a.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m., and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Each week, guests hold lively and educational discussions on legal or social issues. OC is proud that our studio was chosen as the set for The Verdict, and our very own director, Blake Mayfield, is helping film the show. Please check out the next episode of The Verdict to see what it's all about.
If you have any stories that you want us to report on, send our producer an email at becca.kashork@eagles.oc.edu. Now for your national news. We all know that exercise is good for our health, but a recent study suggests it's not only good for your health, but also your mind. Manny Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
At least 2.5 hours of heart-pumping exercise a week. That's what's recommended by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. But only about 1 in 5 adults and teens get enough exercise to maintain good health. New research suggests that physical activity may improve brain health as well. The study published in Mayo Clinic Proceedings examined more than 2,100 adults between the ages of 21 to 84. Researchers determined cardio fitness may slow down the decrease of the brain's gray matter, which processes information, and may be useful in slowing a range of illnesses from mild cognitive impairment to dementia. Researchers admit they had several limitations and say further study needs to be done. However, they say older adults who get higher amounts of heart-pumping fitness seem to benefit the most in the memory region of the brain. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The warm weather is over, it seems, after Oklahoma got covered in a thick coat of snow last night. Garrett White will tell us more on that when we get back.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Dora knows better than anyone. The best place to explore is the forest.
Boots! She knows this monkey? Of course, she knows this monkey.
Experience nature.
Let's go.
Connect with family.
I love you guys.
And find your own adventure in a forest or park near you.
Let's do this. Come on, Boots.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Good afternoon, Oklahoma. Currently, what you're seeing is directly outside the studio. You get a look at the multiple inches of snow that has fallen onto Oklahoma Christian's campus last night. I can say with certainty that the students here have enjoyed the day off as well as the snowfall. Currently, it is 31 degrees, but because of the snow and cloud cover, it feels like 22. Now, across the state of Oklahoma, a spread of temperatures ranging from the mid-30s down to 30 degrees. Right now in Sallisaw, it is 36. Durant and Elk City both at 35. A spread of 31-degree temperatures as we take a look at OKC, Tulsa, and Ardmore. 30 degrees in both Ada and Miami, and Lawton and Ponca City both at 32. For Altus, 34. Last but not least, Gaiman is at 33 degrees. For tonight, the temperature will drop down to 20 degrees with a northern wind coming in at 9 miles per hour. The humidity is also going to be high at 79%. Now, for the weekend, some things to note. It will be sunny, a low chance of rain, and the warm temperatures will come back, bringing us about to the mid-50s. Now, for the next 5 days, here are some things to look at. Thursday is going to be sunny, a high of 45, low of 31. Friday is going to be partially cloudy, a high of 52, low dropping down to 29 degrees. Saturday is going to be sunny, a high of 55, low of 40. Sunday and Monday, both cloudy. Sunday is going to have a high of 62, low of 31. And Monday will have a high of 44, low of 32. That's all I have for your weather. Up next, join Nick Rogers in the entertainment corner as he gives you all the latest.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hello and welcome to this week's Eagle Angle. As always, I'm your host, Nick Rogers. And first up, Hollywood legend Gene Reynolds has died from heart failure. The producer and director is best known for co-creating the television series MASH. He also co-created the show Lou Grant. Reynolds won 6 Primetime Emmy Awards during his career. That long career saw him produce, direct, and act in shows like My Three Sons, Hogan's Heroes, and Room 222. He also served as president of the Directors Guild of America from 1993 to 1997. Gene Reynolds was 96 years old. Moving on, looks like a lot of people are seeing the plus side of having Disney Plus. They've got 26.5 million subscribers. Analysts only expected they'd get between 20 and 25 million subscribers per quarter. But clearly, the analysts underestimated Disney. The numbers came out Tuesday when they announced their first fiscal quarter earnings. Disney Plus launched in November, the company's first foray into the world of streaming. Now, let's check out what David Daniel has to say in this week's Hollywood Minute.
잠깐. 제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고.
Parasite wins Best Picture, at least among millennials. Fandango surveyed more than 2,000 millennial moviegoers, and Parasite just edged out 1917 for Best Picture. They chose Joaquin Phoenix from Joker as Best Actor, Brad Pitt from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as Best Supporting Actor, and two Little Women, Saoirse Ronan for Best Actress and Florence Pugh for Best Supporting Actress.
Jenny, I'm sorry.
Don't. Love means never having to say you're sorry.
Love Story is returning to theaters for its 50th anniversary. The romantic tearjerker is set to play at more than 600 U.S. theaters on Sunday, February 9th and Wednesday, February 12th. You and your Valentine can find details at fathomevents.com. The coronavirus is hitting Hollywood in the bank account. According to The Hollywood Reporter, with the virus escalating and most of China's movie theaters closed, Jojo Rabbit, Dolittle, and Little Women have all postponed their Chinese screenings indefinitely, and more postponements may follow. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And that's the latest in this week's entertainment. Now we go back to the desk for sports.
Thanks, Nick. I'm Trinity Carpenter, and this is your Eagle Angle Sports Report. Both basketball teams were on the road this past Saturday to take on the Arkansas's Fort Smith Lions. In the first half of the girls' game, the Lady Eagles were off to a good start. The half would turn into a back-and-forth battle for the lead, with the Lady Lions going into halftime with a 39-38 lead. Moving in the second half, both teams would continue this battle down to the last second when the Lady Lions got fouled on a three-point attempt, trailing by just 2 with less than 1 second to go. The Lady Lions would go on to make 2 of the 3 free throws, which would send us into overtime. In overtime, Arkansas Fort Smith would take the lead and go on to achieve a 91-89 point victory over the Lady Eagles. Oklahoma Christian's top scorer was Megan Shelton with 26 points and 3 rebounds. As for the men's game, the Lions of Arkansas Fort Smith took the first and never looked back as they would lead at the halftime 34-21, and then to continue to control the game as they would go to beat the Eagles 78-42. Dadrian Palmer Jr. and Aubrey Johnson tied for Oklahoma Christian's top scorers with 10 points and a total of 9 rebounds. Both the guys and the girls team have 2 upcoming away games this week. The first game will be tomorrow, where the Eagles will face Texas Permian Basin. Girls tip-off is set for 5:15 p.m. and the guys tip-off is set for 7:30. The second game will be Saturday against Western New Mexico. The girls tip is scheduled for 3 p.m. and the guys tip is scheduled for 5 p.m. The Lady Eagles softball team opened up their season this past weekend when they traveled to Las Vegas, Nevada, where they played a total of 5 games. The Lady Eagles played very well as they would outscore their opponents 57-19 and go on to win 4 out of the 5 games they played. The Lady Eagles' own Jaden Johnson would go off in the third game against San Francisco State as she would go 4 for 4 at the plate, hitting 2 home runs and going on to have 8 RBIs. Johnson would go on to have over a 600 batting average and also bring in a total of 13 RBIs, while Lindsay Stokel would go on to win both of the games that she started and also hit over a 500 batting average while also knocking in 12 runs in the 5-game span. The Lady Eagles will play a total of 5 games this weekend, all being here at home. First game is set for 4 p.m. on Friday. The Eagles baseball team kicked off their season as well this past weekend when they traveled to Kingsville, Texas to take on Texas A&M Kingsville in a 3-game series. In the first game, the Eagles could only manage to put up 1 run, which would not be enough as the Javelinas would go on to win 3-1. Then in the second game, the Javelinas would go on to take an early 6-0 lead over the Eagles in the third inning before the Eagles could put up any runs on the board. The Javelinas would continue to add on runs and go on to take game 2 of 3-game series 15-8. Then in the final game of the series, the Javelinas would continue their high-scoring offense in scoring 13 runs against the Eagles. The Eagles would continue to battle, but fall just short 13-10. The Eagles' top player of the 3-game series was Lee Cole, who had a 333 batting average and had a total of 3 RBIs. The Eagles will take on the 11th best team in Division II, Angelo State University, here at home. Series opener is set for 1 p.m. on Friday. After this break, we find out how a lost dog found her family after being lost for 3 years on this week's Take a Look at This. Stay with us.
in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
It took 3 years, but a dog is finally going to be reunited with its family, and it's all thanks to a beer can. Gabrielle Arzola has the story.
You first meet Day Day. Her smile is infectious. She was one of the 4 shelter dogs chosen to be featured on Motorworks Brewing beer cans, and the story went viral.
We were all running around like screaming because we were so excited.
Immediately, 2 of the dogs were adopted, but this girl was holding out for her perfect family. That's when Monica Mathis saw a familiar smile online.
I was looking at the dogs, I was like, telling my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks like Hazel.
Turns out Day Day already had a family who called her Hazel and have been looking for her since 2017. It's just been in the wrong state.
We never certainly thought it'd be as far away as Minnesota.
When Day Day escaped her home, the family says they lost her microchip paperwork and were unable to update her information.
And I've thought about her every day. Every day.
So they lost hope until they saw their pup on a beer can.
The fact that she's on here, it's meant to be.
It is. It's meant to be. I truly believe that. I thought of this last night and I said this was the reason we did these cans.
Now the shelter is working to send Day Day back home for free.
I feel blessed that my baby's gonna get to come home and I get her back.
Excited for the day, Day Day rejoins her perfect family.
I am so happy. Hey, pretty girl.
Reporting in Manatee County, I'm Gabrielle Arzola.
Well, I hope you're all staying as warm as possible out there in the snow. Thank you for watching Eagle Angle, where it's your campus.
Your news.